No, not at all. I only text them and I never call. I'm still a canine at heart, I'm a dog.
What's up, guys? It's Preschool coming at you again. Before we dive into everything today, I just want to stop and give you guys some information regarding the California wildfires. As of right now, Paradise, the city, has been entirely wiped off the map. It had a population of 26,000 people. So you can imagine the tragedy there. There are over 75 confirmed deaths, and about over 52,000 people have been evacuated or displaced from their homes at this point. There's a lot of people setting up camp inside of Walmart in Chino Hills. They do have enough clothes that people have donated, which has been great and super helpful. At this point, they really just need cash. These families need money to start rebuilding their lives again, being able to take that next step and going forward from here, because now they have no homes to return to. They're not going to have homes in the next coming months as, people situate all these things. The insurance companies go through everything. Those who didn't have insurance are trying to find out where to relocate, how to salvage anything they may have had. So money really is going to be the better option for them. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the bio. That's going to explain directly how you get money. You don't want to go to like the Red Cross and everything at this point. You kind of want to get money right into their pocket, because this is like something that's affecting them today. They don't really have much time to wait and keep waiting on. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to dive into the next topic. I was on Twitter, I know, and there was a video circulating of a cop who pulled over a man, and the guy, as he's fumbling to get his license out, he's recording with one hand, trying to grab the license out with the other, and he's going back and forth with the cop. And he's like, "Hey, why'd you even pull me over?" As he's reaching for his license. And the cop's like, "I caught you speeding." He was like, "Well, how'd you catch me speeding if you didn't have a radar?" And the cop's like, "I estimated it." And I thought that was pretty crazy. So estimating speed, especially when you're this is what I was just, heard from the video, and the cop didn't seem to disagree, but it seemed like he had already had somebody else pulled over and was pulling off the side of the road to get to the other guy. It would be really hard to gauge somebody else's speed when you're at a dead stop. That's hard enough. But also when you're transitioning from a dead stop to moving, you don't even know what speed you're gradually increasing through that time from 0, and you're moving up to 20 or whatever was going on at that time. I thought that was pretty crazy. Long story short, the cop goes back and forth, gets pretty aggressive, pulls the guy out of the car physically, calls for backup. Partner shows up like within 10 seconds, and next thing you know, he's like, "Stop resisting," the usual, the go-to route. And it got a little crazy. So I saw a lot of comments on Twitter, people saying like, "Hey, you need to just let that go, fight it in court." Honestly, at the end of the day, the way things are, you probably shouldn't go back and forth with a cop. As we've seen before, it's cost people their lives, or, they've at least gotten pretty beat up in some of these altercations that have been going on. So a lot of people are like, "Hey, just take it to court. Even if you feel like you're in the right, you'll be able to fight it with a lawyer." There's only two problems there. A lot of people seem to think that, for a traffic ticket, you're entitled to a lawyer as if you had like a public defender. If you couldn't afford one, that is not the case. That's not how our justice system works. Pretty much if a cop says, whatever, "Hey, I estimated you doing 35 and you're actually doing 30. And then, he doesn't have the radar to back it up, and you go to court. In order to actually fight it, you're going to have to hire a traffic ticket lawyer. And those lawyers, which is not an attorney, will cost anywhere between $50 to $200. And really, that really defeats the purpose of fighting the case, because you're trying to go to court to fight a ticket and avoid paying for something that you believe you didn't do, and yet you're paying for it. You're paying for it through the lawyer this time. And if you don't, actually, the lawyer doesn't come through and actually win you the case. Now you're paying for a lawyer and a ticket you didn't believe you had in the first place. So just a couple facts for you guys. Keep that in mind. I still recommend keeping your cool, but the solution is not really just keeping your head down and going to court to fight it, because 9 times out of 10, they do side with officers. Trust me, I got plenty of tickets to tell you about that. I've been through it myself. Just got done paying one off out in San Diego. Luckily, I had a pretty chill cop who was actually cool enough to kind of bump down my speed limit as well. We were all kind of rocking and rolling that day. I don't know if they had a quota to meet or whatever, but a few of us got pulled over at the same time. Yeah, and the big story that we got going on today is something that I got to eat my words. I was going back and forth with it online too, but there was that Chipotle manager that got fired for having that exchange with that dude across the glass about not, refusing service to him. He felt like he was being discriminated against because, he was black. He was saying that out there like, "Hey, you guys are trying to treat me this way and that." Come to find out, they check out his Twitter. He has a huge history of dining and dashing. Great for Chipotle, you know, admitting they're wrong, kind of rehiring that manager. In my opinion, I still stand by my comments. I felt like, you know, as a manager, having an exchange across the glass in public, plain view of the entire store with the customer is the wrong way to go about it. Also, Chipotle apparently had a system in place where if you swipe the card about 8 seconds later, you know, it'll come back as declined even though it just said approved for you. And I feel like that's not really the customer's the fault, you know. Obviously, this gentleman has a history of doing it. I don't know if he did it at this Chipotle or not. If he did, they probably had a heads up on it. But still, there's ways to handle that situation. You know, pull the customer to the side like, hey, I've been noticing that you've been trying this. It's not cool. From now on, you know, in order to run your card, you're going to have to sit here off to the side for a bit, let the machine fully process, and then I'll be able to process your transaction thoroughly and hand you your food, you know. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to dine and dash at Chipotle because they're literally making the food behind a glass. They pass it down a little cafeteria assembly line. And then when it gets to the end cashier, they usually ring you up, take your card, grab your receipt, throw it in the bag. At least in my experience, they've always thrown my receipt in the bag and they handed the food to me afterwards. But yeah, thanks for checking out my video. I'll be back again with more craziness that's going on in this world. I'm trying to not do the Trump videos because honestly, it's like blowing my mind right now. Every day, a new Trump video surfaces. It's like I'm reading The Onion and I realize I'm reading, you know, Fox, CBS, CNN, Wall Street Journal, or New York Times. But you guys stay stress-free out there right now. I know a lot of craziness going on in the world. And yeah, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so eat a bunch of turkey, maybe not salmonella turkey, or stay away from the romaine lettuce. All right, catch you guys next time.